Hi, I'm Abigail, and welcome to my snow day yoga class at home. It's snowing here in Nashville, which is extremely rare, and so on this special occasion, I've decided to teach a special class for all those days, not just snow days, but those days when you can't quite make it to your yoga studio, your regular yoga class, because you're a little too busy or for any reason at all. So we're going to work a little bit on how to safely warm up, strengthen, and stretch our hips today. So join me on your mat and let's get started. All right, so go ahead and unroll your yoga mat. You can face me during the whole class, although I will sometimes turn sideways so that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And I want to talk about a few props that it would be really helpful for you to have today. The first is some sort of yoga blanket. So if you're the sort of person who owns a yoga blanket, great. But if you're not, just make sure you have a nice thick towel nearby, or a small compact blanket would do the trick. A couple of yoga blocks are a great investment. But again, if you don't have them, not to worry. For some of the purposes that we'll be using the blocks for, a couple of thick, heavy books, those old dictionaries that you don't use anymore because everything's online, those would be great. And for another purpose for the blocks, it would be great if you had something tall and somewhat sturdy. I'm going to be using two unrolled paper towel rolls, unopened paper towel rolls today. So those would be great. Two big, tall, sturdy water bottles would do the trick. And then finally, a yoga strap, or in lieu of that, a man's tie that's old, that's not being used anymore would be great. Or the tie of a bathrobe would be excellent too. So while you're getting set up, I'm going to get the music started, and we will meet on our mats here, lying on our backs in just a moment. All right. So find your way down onto your mat. If you are uncomfortable lying right on the floor on your mat, feel free to open up your towel or your blanket to lie on so you have a little bit of extra cushioning. I'm going to open up mine today because, well, it's chilly. It's a snow day. As you can see, I have some yoga socks on. These have rubber grips on the bottom, which make them safer than wearing regular socks. If you have regular socks on, once we come up to stand, I'd like you to take them off. Okay. So find your way down onto your back. And let's start with a comfortable position in the legs. Since we're working hips today, if you'd like to take a hip opener, you could bend your knees, let your knees drop open, bring your feet together. And if that's in any way uncomfortable, find your blocks or your books and prop your knees up. Those blocks could come at any height so that you feel supported. Okay? And if this just isn't working at all for you today, go ahead and stretch your legs out straight. It's absolutely fine. Bring your hands to your belly here. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. Do it again. In through the nose, deep breath. Back out through the nose. Nice and slow. In through the nose. Back out through the nose. Take a few more breaths like that at your own pace. But see if you can slow them down a little bit. Breathe a little deeper into the top of your lungs, bottom of your lungs, sides, and all around as you inhale. And as you exhale, really start to press all of the breath out gently by drawing your breathing diaphragm up and underneath your rib cage and completely expelling the air. So big breath in all the way down into your belly, your ribs, up under your collarbones. Big breath out gently, squeezing your navel in and up, pulling your breathing diaphragm in and up, and you're going to lift your pelvic floor. 3 more breaths like that. Good. Now, reach your hands to your outer thighs. Help your knees draw together. Use those blocks or books to support yourself. You can slide them off to the side. Stretch your legs long. Take your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers and turn your palms back toward the wall behind you. Take a big breath in and stretch your body long. Wiggle your ribs a little side to side. Let that breath go. We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to let the breath go out through our mouths. So deep breath in, stretch long, and then open your mouth. Sigh it out. Unwind your fingers. Bring your hands down to your sides. Bend your knees. And get your feet onto your mat. So if you're using a blanket like I am to lie on, make sure your feet are actually on your sticky mat. Arms come to your sides. Okay, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. We're going to start with some pelvic tilts. So as you inhale, we're going to arch our low back a little bit. Just by tilting the pubic bone toward the tailbone, if you bring your hands under your low back, you'll find there's more space there than there usually is. And as you exhale, we're going to relax first. Let the low back drop toward the floor a little bit. And then we're going to encourage that by squeezing our belly down toward our spine, feeling our abdominal muscles embrace. The tailbone is going to rise just a little bit. So as you inhale, arch your low back. And as you exhale, flatten and squeeze your abdominal muscles. Good. Bring your hands to your belly now. Inhale and arch. And as you exhale and squeeze, see if you can really feel the tension in your low belly. It's great strengthening work for the lower abdominals. Inhale, relax your low belly and arch. Release your low back. Exhale, squeeze down and feel your abdominal muscles engage. Okay, keep going like that. Inhale. And exhale. This is a simple action that you can do pretty much any time of the day. You can do it reclining, standing, sitting. Exhale. Do it in bed before you fall asleep to release your lower back. You do it in the morning when you first wake up. Really gentle and safe. Good, let's do 3 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Good, inhale. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Come back to a neutral spine and take one of your blocks or one of your books. Take it the long, skinny way between your thighs, up close to your groin, but not so close that it's uncomfortable. Now bring your arms to your sides this time, your palms face down. Gently squeeze your block. It's not so firm that it's a vice grip. It's just a gentle, loving nudge into that block. Now take a big breath in, and as you exhale, keep your low back curved, but firm your belly and lift your hips up. You should feel your glutes engaging and your hamstrings engaging. We're gently squeezing our block and press into your arm bones to lift your chest a little bit, but focus on your legs. Our focus is our hips today. Take a big breath in. Abdominals are engaged. As you exhale, slowly roll down along your spine. So your tailbone comes down last. Then pause and take a big breath in. Just relax. Don't do anything as you breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your block and lift your hips up. Nice firm belly, nice firm glutes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, slowly roll down along your spine. And then relax. Take a big breath in. Exhale, squeeze your block, lift your hips up, firm belly. Big breath in here, lift your chest a little bit. Exhale, slowly roll down along your spine. Good. Now take a big breath in. This time we're going to move a little faster. So as you exhale, lift up. Inhale here. And now we'll move as a flow. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze your block. Inhale, lift up. Keep your belly engaged. Glutes are firm. Exhale, lower down. Nice and slow. The slower the better. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Lower down, exhale. 3 more like that. Inhale. So if your breath doesn't match mine, exhale, it's okay. You can move at your own pace. Just try to slow it down. Exhale. Last one, firm belly, firm glutes. Inhale. Good, and exhale. Good. Slide your block off to the side. Feel how hard those inner thighs have worked. Let your knees drop open. Bring the soles of your feet together again. Once again, if you need the support of the blocks or books, slide them underneath your knees. Take your hands to your inner thighs for a moment and encourage them to relax. You can just gently give them a smooth, a pat, whatever you need to encourage them to relax. And then take your hands up over your chest, interlace your fingers, and turn your palms up. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your knuckles straight down to your breastbone. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale down. See if you can take your breath all the way down into your pelvis. Inhale, stretch up as though your breath could move side to side into your inner thighs. Exhale down. Good. Unwind your hands and circle your wrists right up above your chest. Circle your wrists, change the direction. We're multitasking here, releasing our inner thighs while also working our wrists and hands a little bit. And then take your hands together again, interlace with the opposite pinky than normal on the outside. Turn your palms up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, knuckles come down to your chest. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, back down. Inhale up. Good, and exhale down. And then let go, make fists and circle your fists. Good. Deep breaths in and out, change the direction of your circles. Good, and then give them a shake. Reach down, grab your knees, help them draw together. Again, if you use props, you can slide them off to the side. This time, put your feet up, hug your knees in, and rock a little bit side to side. A nice little release for the lower back. Good. Now, we've got one more set of bridges to do, and this time we're going to use a strap, or if you have a tie, or the tie of a bathrobe. Either of those would be fine. Come up to sit for a moment and find your strap. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see how I use this. If you have a regular yoga strap, you're going to make sure you have a loop in it. And you want that loop to be the width of your thighs when your knees are right in line with your hips. If you are using the tie of a bathrobe, just put a little tie in there, tie a little knot, and make yourself a loop. Okay, so once you have your loop, slide it over your feet and up to your thighs. You're going to take a moment to adjust it so that when you look down, when you press your knees apart to make that strap taut, your knees cannot open wider than your hips. You want your outer knees in line with your outer hips. So once you're all set with that strap, come back onto your back. Bent knees again, arms at your sides. Gently make your strap taut. And again, you're not pressing so hard that you feel like you're going to get a Charlie horse somewhere. Right? It's a gentle sensation of pushing the knees apart. These are going to engage your abductor muscles, the muscles in your outer hips to support our hips as we lift up into our bridge. A moment ago, we turned our inner thighs on. Now we're turning the outer thighs on. It's really healthy for your hips. So heels roughly under your knees. Usually it's a good idea to walk your heels in a little closer to your hips, arms at your sides. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, make your strap taut, firm your belly, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up. Good, inhale, lower back down. Good, big breath in. Exhale, lift up. And inhale, back down. Good, keep going like that. Exhale, firm your belly, lift up, gently press your knees apart. And inhale, back down. Good, exhale, lift up, and this time stay for a moment, lift your chest a little bit. We're gonna reverse the breath here. Exhale, slowly lower down. Make your strap taut from your belly. Inhale, lift up. Squeezing your glutes, exhale, lower down. Nice and gentle with that strap. Inhale, lift up. Lower down, exhale. Firm your belly. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. 3 more like that. Inhale, lift up. So you can feel those outer thighs working. Lower down. Make your strap gently taut. Inhale, lift up. Lower down, exhale. And one more. Inhale, lift up. Nice, lower down. Exhale. Good. Lift your feet. Slide your strap off or your tie off. Set to the side. And reach your arms up for your shins. Hug your knees in. You can go wide with your knees if that feels better to you than narrow knees, but rock yourself side to side, getting that little massage into your lower back. All right. So Release the soles of your feet down to the mat. Now that we worked those outer hips a little bit, we're going to feel them opening just gently. Pick your right foot up and cross your right ankle above your left knee. Just gently let your right knee drop open and flex your right foot. You're gently activating it as though you're standing on it. It'll protect your knee while we're here. Take your arms to a cactus position back on the floor. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, let your legs in this shape drop to the right. So your right knee is going to come toward the floor. It might touch the floor, but don't worry if it doesn't. You're rolling to the inner edge of your left foot. Take an in breath here. And as you exhale, bring your legs back up to center. Now you're standing on the sole of that left foot again. Big inhalation. Exhale, let your legs in this shape tip to the left. So you're rolling to the outer edge of your left foot. And you might find that your right foot comes all the way down. It might just hover. Come back up to center. Okay, so now we're going to go as a flow. Take a big breath in. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. So you should feel a gentle stretch in this outer right hip. Inhale to center. You do not need to go all the way onto the floor, so don't force. Inhale, back up. Keep that right foot gently flexed. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale, back up. Feel how your abdominal muscles are engaging. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back up. See if you can keep your belly gently firm. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up. This is nice for the obliques. Let's do a few more rounds. Exhale to the right. And inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. See if you can keep this sense of lengthening in your waist. Inhale, back up. One more round. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back up. This is also a great massage for your glutes. Exhale to the left. And inhale, back up. Good. Uncross your legs. Pick that right leg up for a moment and clasp behind your right thigh. If you can't reach it, grab your strap and use your strap around the back of the thigh. Very gently stretch your right leg as straight as you comfortably can. You might have a very deep bend in your knee and you find you feel a stretch in your hamstring. That's where you stop. You might be able to stretch all the way straight. That's fine too. Either one is fine. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knee and gently hug your knee into your belly or chest. Then stretch it straight. Inhale and exhale. Good. If you find that you're stretching your leg as completely straight and it's right up over your hip or even closer, then you have the option to lengthen your left leg long. I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm going to keep my left leg bent. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 3 more like that. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 1 more for good measure. Inhale. Good, and exhale. Now just like we release the wrists, we're going to release the ankles. Stretch your leg as straight as you can, and as you inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex. Good, inhale, point. And exhale, flex. And again, inhale, point. And exhale, flex. Good, now we're going to take some big circles of the ankles. Get your toes involved so your toes are pointing and flexing as you circle around. Change the direction. Get out all those pops and cracks in your ankles. And come back to your breath. Slow, deep breaths in and out. And then relax that leg. Go ahead and set it down. And we'll set up for pigeon, second side. Lift your left foot. Cross your left ankle above your right knee. Your right foot is flat on the ground. Left foot gently flex. Take your arms to a cactus position. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, tilt your legs to the left. You're rolling to the inner edge of the right foot. Left knee comes toward or all the way to the floor. Inhale, back up. Should feel comfortable. Exhale to the right. Rolling to the outer edge of the right foot. Sole left foot reaches toward the ground or touches. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. You can relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Inhale, back up. See if you can find a sense of engaging all the way around your waist. And your obliques are going to naturally help you to move your legs side to side. Feel that engagement and then engage through your belly as well. Feel the gentle massage in the back of your pelvis, the sides of your hips. This is a really relaxing and very gentle and safe thing to do for your hips. Slow, deep breaths. Inhaling to center and exhaling side to side. Relax your jaw. We've got 2 more rounds. Feel Feel your core working. Feel your hips gently opening. This is our last one. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale to the right. Good. Inhale to center. Now uncross your legs. Take your arms to your sides. Pick your left foot up and clasp your hands either behind your left thigh or grab a strap. Can't quite reach. Okay. And hang on, gently stretch that leg gently straight. Just test it out. You're not trying to force. You might have a deep bend in your knee, looking for a gentle stretch in the back of your leg. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, bend your knee and hug that knee into your belly or chest. Inhale and stretch it up. Exhale, bend, and hug in. So again, if you find that you're stretching up roughly over your hip and you're coming all the way straight, go ahead and lengthen your opposite leg. Otherwise, keep that knee bent. Or if you're like me and you don't have a lot of space where you're practicing yoga right now, then don't worry about it. Okay? Keep going with your breath. Gently lengthening as you inhale, bending, and hugging in as you exhale. 3 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Great release for the hamstring. You tend to have sciatic nerve problems. This is a wonderful, gentle thing to do. Last one here. Good, now we're going to gently stretch that leg straight and work the ankle a little bit. So point your toes and stretch the top of your ankle, top of your foot. Take a big breath in, exhale and flex. Draw your toes down, spread them apart, push your heel up. Inhale and point. Exhale and flex. One more like that. Inhale, point. And exhale, flex. Good. Now circle your ankle. Okay, so your leg is only straight is only straight enough to feel a gentle stretch in the back of your leg. Okay, so you might have a bent knee as you go here. Change the direction of your circles. Get your toes involved. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Good. And then bend that left knee. And both knees come in again. Both feet lift, rock side to side, or as another option, let's move back a little bit. Cross your ankles, hang on behind your thighs, and take a few rock and rolls front to back. If you're doing this, it should feel really comfortable, like a massage along your spine. If it doesn't feel like that, then stay on your back and rock side to side. Okay? And if you're rocking and rolling front to back, change the cross of your ankles. Take a couple more here. Only rocking between your sit bones and your shoulder blades, not back onto your neck. One more rock and roll, either front to back or side to side. Good. And we're going to find our way onto hands and knees. Hands and knees. So if you haven't been using a blanket, and you come onto hands and knees and you find your knees feel cranky when they're right there on the floor, then go ahead and slide a blanket underneath your knees for support. Okay, so set up in a tabletop position. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists, spread your fingers wide. And take some cat-cows here. Cow comes first. So as you inhale, let your belly drop, lift your chest, lift your chin, lift your sit bones. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your shoulders, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your belly. And inhale, open up through your front body. So you're arching your back. Exhale and round your back. Go with your breath here. Inhale. Arms are nice and strong to support you. Exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale. Drawing your chest through your arms when you inhale. Exhale and spreading your shoulder blades apart. Good. Last one like that. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Come back to a neutral spine, and we're going to come into a supported side plank. So with your knees right where they are, you're going to kickstand your left foot off to the left. So your knee doesn't move, just your foot does. Then stretch your right leg straight back on your mat. Stand on your left arm and take your right arm out and up. Engage your abdominal muscles here. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, float your right leg up until you feel your outer right thigh muscles working. Take a look at your foot. Make sure your toes are pointing straight over to the right. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, lower your right foot. and take your right hand to your hip. Now get the outer edge of your right foot down, so the whole sole of your foot is down. Take a big breath in. This next one's challenging. As you exhale, you're going to think about pushing into your left hand, your right foot, and lifting your left knee off the mat. It might not actually lift, but if it does, your inner thighs are going to work pretty strongly. Set it back down. Okay, right arm up. Big breath in. Exhale, right leg lifts. Inhale, set it down, hand to your hip. Exhale, left knee tries to lift, or it actually lifts. Right arm up, inhale. Exhale, right leg lifts. Inhale, set it down, hand to your hip. Exhale, maybe that left knee lifts, and if it does and you're feeling strong on a challenge, kick it out to the right. Okay, bend it, set it down. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, lift your leg, maybe kick it out. Bend your knee, set it down. 1 more time. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, right leg down, right hand to your hip. Exhale, right knee lifts, and maybe you kick it out. Good. Back to hands and knees. That was challenging, especially on this left hand. So sit back for a moment and give your wrist a massage. So if you're not comfortable sitting on your heels, you can find another way to sit for a moment with crossed legs. But give yourself a nice massage right around your wrist creases where you would wear a watch or a bracelet. I'm going to give a nice squeeze. I like to imagine the sensation of trying to pop the head off of a dandelion. So you want to imagine that your hand is the head of the dandelion and your arm is the stem, and you're trying to create space. That's space through your carpal bones. We've all heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, and this creates a little bit of space. Good. Give your wrist a shake. All right, now we're going to do second side. And back to hands and knees. Extend your right foot out to the right. Your right knee stays where it is. Left leg stretches straight back. Stand on your right arm. Take your left arm out and up. Engage your belly. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, lift that left foot. Make sure your toes point straight over to the left so you feel your outer hip muscles working. Take a big breath in, and then exhale. Set it down. Take your left hand to your left hip. Big breath in. Pop your right shoulder into the socket, and as you exhale, just try to lift that right knee. It doesn't have to lift, but if it does, then fine. Set it back down. Inhale, left arm out and up. Exhale, left leg rises up. Feel your outer left hip working. Inhale, set it down, hand to your hip. Exhale, try to lift that right knee or lift it up. Inhale, set it down, stretch your left arm up. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, hand to your hip, left foot down. Exhale, right knee lifts. And if you're feeling really powerful, stretch that right leg out to the left. Inhale, bend it, set it down, left arm up. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, hand to your hip. Exhale, right knee lifts. Maybe it stretches out. Bend it back in, set it down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, this is our last one. Lift that left leg. Doing great. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, try to lift that right knee. Lift it or stretch it out. Good. Find your way back to hands and knees. And then sit comfortably back so you can give your wrist a squeeze. Nice little squeeze right there. You've got a watch or a bracelet. This is a great thing to do every day, especially if you work at the computer a lot. Your wrists tend to get congested, and what we're doing is trying to make space right there through the bones where that primary nerve runs. Good. Give your wrists a shake. Good. And then find your way to hands and knees again. Curl your toes under and walk your hands back toward your knees. Get a little toe stretch while we're here. So if this is pretty intense, your toes are curled under, sitting back on your heels, getting a stretch in your toes or in the soles of your feet, then stay like this with your hands down on the mat. If you want something a little bit deeper, then sit up on your heels. Just a few more breaths here. 2 more. So again, if it's too intense, come on down and take some of the weight off of your feet. Last big breath. Good. And then everyone hands down to your mat and roll to the balls of your feet. Put your heels down. You can move your blanket off to the side. Come on up to stand. You can stay as you are, facing me. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Okay, give your toes a little wiggle. I like to pick 1 foot up at a time. Wiggle them out. This is a good time if you're wearing socks to take them off. Okay, even though these are yoga socks with little grips on the bottom, I'm going to take them off because bare feet are best for yoga. Okay, wiggle those toes out a little bit more. And then take a few deep shoulder rolls. Deep shoulder rolls to the back. looking out of my window and I'm seeing little children sledding down the road. I live up on a big hill, seeing little children sledding down the road. That is a sight I've never seen before in Nashville. Okay, a couple more shoulder rolls to the back. Good, and then forward. Good, so we're going to try to apply some of this work that we've done in our hips as we move a little bit here on our mat. So go ahead and step up to the top of your mat. Take your hands to your heart. And see if you can find a little bit of tone in your inner thighs. That same sensation that we used when we squeezed our block or book between our thighs. Find that tone and then see if you can gently hug your feet toward each other, and that's going to engage your inner thighs a little bit more. Okay, so squeeze those feet together. Now to get our outer hips to engage, imagine that you're going to drag your feet apart. Try to push your feet in opposite directions. It's going to get the outer hips to engage a little bit. And then come right to neutral. Okay, it's a very gentle and a delicate action of listening, trying to get the inner thighs and outer hips to engage at the same time, but give it a try. And take your hands to your heart, firm your belly, get long in your waist, stretch your arms up, inhale, look up. Good, take your hands straight down through the midline, namaste hands, back to your heart. Circle your arms up, inhale. Good, keep your legs engaged, exhale. See if you can become aware of your hips supporting you here. Inhale, stretch up. Inner thighs and outer thighs working, exhale. Hands to your heart. Good. Now grab your block and we're going to feel that a little bit more clearly. I'm going to turn to face you. Take your block in between your thighs again. Instead of the long, skinny way, turn it the side way. So it's crossing through your legs. Now gently squeeze your block between your thighs and you'll feel that sensation of toning your inner thighs. Hands to your heart. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Good. Now exhale, bend your knees. Put your weight into your heels. Sit your tush back like you're reaching for a chair. Utkatasana chair pose. Sit back into your heels and then gently squeeze your block. It's not a vice grip, just a gentle nudge. As you squeeze it, you'll find that it starts to move back behind you a little bit. Your low back will draw in. And then the challenge is to engage your abdominal muscles to support that motion of your low back, gently arching. So squeeze your block and squeeze your belly. Hands to your heart. This is chair pose. Stretch your arms up, inhale. And then exhale, come back to stand. Let your block go, set it to the side. Hands to your heart again. So now we're going to feel our outer thighs working. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Back to chair pose. Bend your knees, put your weight into your heels, engage your belly. Imagine that block between your thighs. See if you can take your inner thighs back and wide a little bit. Your low back will draw in, then scoop in through your belly and take your hands to your outer hips. Gently squeeze in, and that's the direction you want your muscles to move, as though you're scooping your outer hips underneath you, like tucking a sheet under a bed. Don't lose the sensation of your inner thighs or your belly. Take your arms up, inhale. Good, and this time exhale, take your hands to your thighs. Heels of your hands are up in your hip creases. Start to stretch your legs straight, coming into a half forward fold. As you do that, stop when you feel your hamstrings stretching. Okay, so it might be very soon that you stop and you breathe into the stretch. Press with your hands. Your femurs are the strongest bones in your body that can take it. This direction of moving the thigh bones back into the hip sockets will help to create more space in your lower back. Firm your belly. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, try to keep your low back long and not rounded. And if you're not quite feeling your stretch, start to hinge a little bit deeper. And once you've hinged deep enough that the floor is getting closer, you're going to take your hands down. If you can't quite reach the mat, this is where your blocks come into play, or your paper towel rolls. Okay? So hands come into contact with something tall enough so that you can lean some weight into your support. And if you can lean into the floor, that's okay. Keep your low back drawing in, your belly firm, your thighs moving back, inner thigh squeezing, outer hip squeezing. It's a lot of work, but that's why yoga is so meditative, right? We can't think about anything else while we're here. Let your head hang. Take 2 more big breaths like that, in and out. Good. Now start to bend your knees. Sit your weight into your heels. Take your hands to your hips. Lift your chest up. You're back in chair pose. Inner thighs back. Outer hips in. Belly firming. Arms up. Big breath in. Exhale. hands to your heart. Good. Stretch your arms up, inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Firm belly, outer hips scooping, inner thighs gently toned. Stretch your arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to your thighs. Come into your half forward fold and then release your hands down. Drop your head. Take a big breath in and out. Good. And then bend your knees. Come back into chair pose. Hands to your hips first. Lift your chest up, inner thighs back. Belly firming, outer hips in. Arms up, inhale. Exhale. Hands to your heart. One more time. Stretch up, inhale. Good. Exhale. Chair pose. Hands to your thighs. Inhale, start to stretch your legs straight, firm your belly, low back drawing in. Exhale, outer hips hugging in, inner thighs moving back. Drop your head. Big breath in. And this time, exhale, bend your knees, drop your arms, roll yourself up to stand. Good. Take a few deep shoulder rolls to the back. Good. And then forward. Excellent. Good. Take your hands to your heart. So we're going to start to flow a little bit more with a few sun salutations. I'm a little cramped for space, so you might see me scooching forward or back. That's just to make space for my body to fit here in front of my bookcase. So hands to your heart. Stretch your arms up. Inhale. Nice strong legs. Exhale, chair pose. Scoop your belly. Outer hips back. Inner thighs back. Inhale, arms up. Fold forward. Exhale, hands to your paper towels or your blocks or to the floor. Drop your head. Now this time, bend your knees, start to look forward. We're going to step our left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, left foot steps back, left knee lowers. If you need to slide a blanket underneath that knee, go ahead. Now firm through your belly and lift your chest up. Take your arms up. Good. Scoop your belly back and see if you can tone this outer hip in. It scoops underneath you. And then the inner thigh tones. So our inner thigh is connected to the inner edge of the foot. So that inner edge of the right foot presses down to tone the inner thigh. Outer edge of the right foot presses down to tone the glute. Stretch your arms up, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, sweep your arms forward and down, lean your chest forward, squeeze your shoulders onto your back, tone your belly. Then inhale, arms stretch out and up again. Exhale, forward and down. One more time like that. Inhale, out and up. Good. Exhale, forward and down. Hands to your paper towels or blocks or floor. Lift your back knee. Step yourself forward to your forward fold. And then bend your knees slightly. Look forward. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Put your knee down. Slide your blanket underneath there if you need it. Left knee over the left ankle. Then in line with the left hip. Firm your belly. Lift your chest up. Take your arms up. Take a moment to make sure inner thigh toned on this left leg. Pressing into the inner edge of the foot. Outer edge of the foot pressing down to tone the outer thigh. Scoop the outer left hip underneath you. Scoop your belly in. Take a big breath in. There's a lot of scooping going on. Exhale. Lean forward. Sweep your arms forward and down. And then back. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back. Inhale. Stretch up. Good. Exhale. Forward and down. And one more. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Toning that left hip the whole time. Forward and down. Stretch your arms up. Inhale. Good. And then exhale. Hands come down, and this time, grab your blocks or your paper towels and help yourself come back to hands and knees. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into our downward facing dog. And it's really helpful to feel how the outer hips and inner thighs work to support you. So set up with hips over knees and hands slightly in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Squeeze your outer arms toward your armpits like you're holding a pencil there. It's going to stabilize your shoulder onto your back. And then with your toes curled under, start to shift your hips back toward your heels. If you notice that you tuck your tail under and round your low back, you've gone too far. So we're keeping an inward low back curve, but then supporting it from the front. Now lift your knees, drop your head. Start with a bent knee, downward facing dog. Scoop in through your belly. And if you can straighten your legs without rounding in your back, then great. Otherwise, keep your knees bent. Okay? So as you straighten your legs, drop your head, ears between your outer upper arms. Squeeze your outer arms toward your armpits. Lengthen through your side body. Lengthen through your waist, but keep that cinching in action through your belly. Now to feel our hips working, bend your knees a little bit and try to move your feet toward each other like you're squeezing your feet together. You're going to feel your inner thighs engage from your belly. Now start to straighten your legs a little bit and try to move your feet in opposite directions. Feel your outer hips engage. Bend your knees a little bit. Inhale, feet try to squeeze together. Exhale, straighten, feet try to squeeze apart. One more time. Inhale, feet squeeze together. Exhale, firm belly, feet squeeze apart. Good. Inhale, feet squeeze together, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, push to plank. Firm your belly, use your legs, inner thighs, outer hips, glutes, quads. Scoop in that belly, take a big breath in, open heart. Put your knees down. Shift your weight forward, chest forward, bend your elbows lower all the way down onto your belly. Good. Hands alongside your body for locust pose, rest your chin. Exhale everything out and squeeze your belly in, and as you inhale, lift your chest up. Lift your legs up, squeeze your glutes, lift your arms up. Firm your belly, you should feel a firm brace between your floor and the belly. Big breath in here, exhale, lower yourself down. Squeeze your belly again, inhale and lift up. Lower down, exhale. You should feel these glutes working for you as you lift up. Inhale. Long through your neck, gazing down at the mat, exhale. Good. Now rest. Turn your head to one side. If that doesn't feel comfortable, bring your arms forward, cross them, make yourself a pillow, and then turn your head to one side. Slow, deep breaths here. One more breath while you're resting. Good. And then turn your chin to center. This time bend your elbows, kind of like funky chicken arms, elbows bent in at your sides, hands by your shoulders. Exhale, firm your belly, and as you inhale, lift your arms, squeeze your shoulders together. Lift your chest, gaze down at your mat, the back of your neck is long. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up, lift your legs up, spread your toes. Firm your belly, don't lose that. Big breath in, squeeze your elbows toward your side waist and down away from your shoulders. Then lower back down as you exhale. Firm your belly, inhale and lift up. Good, lower down. Exhale. Doing awesome. This is core for your back. Inhale, lift up. Lower down, exhale. Good. Turn your head in the opposite direction. Your choice, your arms can come back by your sides, or you can make your pillow with your forearms and turn your head in the opposite direction. Slow, deep breaths. Try to feel the rising and falling of your breath in your back body. One more breath here. Then bring your chin to center. Take your hands by your side waist. Press up to hands and knees. And stretch back to child's pose. You might widen your knees to do that. Stretch your body long and then bow forward toward your mat. Let your forehead come toward the mat. If it doesn't reach, grab a block or your book and rest your forehead there. One more breath like this. Then lift your head. Walk your hands in. Keep your knees wide, or widen your knees if you didn't before. Curl your toes under. And this time, as you walk your hands back, roll to the balls of your feet with wide knees, bow forward. If anything about this bothers your knees, skip it. You can come into a forward fold with wide legs. Okay, but if your knees feel okay here, wide knees, bow yourself forward, round your back, drop your head down. Try to reach your hips down toward the mat behind you as you move your upper body forward and down in front to counterbalance that weight. Nice big stretch for the inner thighs and for the back body. One more breath here. Good. And then lift your head up. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Bring your knees together. Put your heels down. Come on up to stand. Okay, we've got one more set of standing poses here for our hips. So step your feet wide on your mat. Step your feet wide on your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Good. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. So your right foot is parallel with the skinny edge of your mat. Turn your left toes in about 10 degrees. Now we're going to make some space in our hips. This pose is called Warrior Two. We're going to heel toe our right foot to the right a couple of inches. And then we're going to bend our right knee. So look down as you bend your right knee, stack it over your ankle. If your knee starts to come past your ankle, you could wiggle your feet wider, longer apart. okay? So don't let that knee drop past your ankle, and then look down. You should be able to see your inner right ankle inside your right knee. If you don't and your knee is knocking in, that's precarious for the ligaments of your knee. Pull that knee open. You can even use your hand to help you. Make sure you can see your inner ankle, your big toe, and at least 2 more toes inside that right knee. Now squeeze your outer hip underneath you, like tucking a sheet under a bed so you can feel those outer hip muscles engage. Feel your inner thigh engage by pressing down into the inner edge of your foot. Now this left leg is nice and strong and straight, rooting into the outer edge of the foot, pulling that inner thigh, your groin back behind you, feel it tone, and then squeeze your outer hips as though you're trying to pull your hips toward each other behind you. Firm in through your belly, stretch your arms out, look over, past your right fingertips. Now turn your right hand up. Make sure that right knee is tracking over the right ankle. Turn your right palm up, left hand drops down to the back leg. Inhale, right arm up to the right ear. Slide your left hand down the leg. You're in reverse warrior. And then exhale, float your arms back through warrior 2. Now take your right forearm to your right thigh. You can use it to help that right knee avoid dropping in. Take your left arm over your ear, side angle. Scoop in through your belly, lengthen your waist, squeeze your outer hips in. Take a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel back to warrior 2. As a flow, right palm up, inhale, reverse your warrior, slide your left hand down. Exhale, right into side angle, right forearm to the right thigh, left arm over the ear. Firm belly, inhale, outer hips scooping in, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Good, one more time like that. Inhale. Beautiful, and exhale. Good, back up through warrior 2, inhale. Exhale, hands to your hips. Straighten that right leg, parallel your feet, and line your feet back up. Line your feet back up. Good. Turn your left toes out, 90 degrees. Turn your right toes in, 10 degrees. Heel toe that left foot to the left. For those of us with tighter hips, this creates a little bit more space. Firm your belly. Bend your left knee. Stack it right over your ankle. Look down. If it's going past, you got to go longer in your stance. And then make sure your knee's not dropping in and blocking your view of your inner ankle, your big toe, or 2 more toes. Okay? Use your hand if you need to feel it. And then squeeze your outer hip. That's going to help keep that knee in place. So toning through your outer left hip, scooping in underneath you. Feeling your inner thighs engage. Okay? Scoop in through your belly. Strong through this right leg, pressing into the outer edge of the foot. Squeezing those hips back behind each other, toward each other. Stretch your arms out. Look over your left fingers. Good. Lengthening through your side waist. Don't lose the strength of your belly. Turn your left palm up, right hand down the back leg. Inhale, left arm up to the left ear. Side bend. Reverse warrior. Exhale, come back to warrior 2. Good. Big breath in here. Get long in your side waist. Squeeze your outer hips together. Exhale, left arm to your left thigh. Right arm up over the right ear. Scooping through your belly, cinching it around your waist, strong legs. Big breath in here. Back to warrior 2, exhale. Now we'll move as a flow. Left palm up, inhale, reverse warrior, right hand down the back leg. Exhale, cartwheel through, side angle, left arm to the left thigh, right arm up and over. Inhale, reverse warrior. Good, exhale. If your breath isn't as long as mine, it's okay. You can move with your own breath. Keep pressing evenly into the inner and outer edge of that left foot. Good, and exhale. That's our last round. Come back to warrior 2, inhale. Exhale, hands to your hips, parallel your feet, and then heel toe your feet together. Give it a shake. Okay, we worked our quads as well as our hips, so we're going to stretch those here briefly. It's going to involve standing on one foot. So if you need to step to a wall or grab a chair to hang on to, go ahead. Okay? You don't have to stay in the middle of the room. Put a little bend in your right knee and stand firm on your left hip. Notice if you have a tendency to sag and let that left hip sag out to the left, these muscles we've been toning will help to strengthen. So instead of sitting in the joint, which can be harmful over time, you're using your muscles to support you. Now lift that right foot up. As you bend your knee, reach back and grab your foot or ankle behind you. If you can't quite reach it, take a moment and use a strap. You can loop a strap onto your foot, and then bend your knee and hold onto that strap behind you. Once you're there, try to draw your knee in line with your hip so it's not winging out to the right. It's pointing straight down. Hug your heel in toward your glute. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. In and out. Scoop in through your belly and lengthen your side waist. So you're nice and firm through your abdominal muscles. And that will help you to relax a little bit into the front of your right thigh. If you're feeling too much sensation and you can't relax, then you got to move your right heel away from your glute. If you're not feeling enough, hug it in a little bit further. Slow, deep breaths. Still firming your outer left hip in, feeling your left inner thigh engage, and your belly, your glute. Last big breath like this. Good. Gently release that right foot down. If you need to shake out your legs, go ahead. Sometimes standing on one foot can make things feel a little bit crampy. Take your time. And then feet together again. Okay? You're using your chair or your wall if you're having trouble balancing. Put a little bend in your left knee and stand firm in your right hip. Don't just do it on autopilot, which tends to make us a little bit saggy into the joint. Tone your outer right hip in, inner thigh tones to take the thigh bone back a little bit, the inner joint, glute tones. Now pick that left foot up and reach back. Find your foot or ankle. Take a moment if you need to use the strap to catch hold of that foot. Now make sure that knee is pointing straight down underneath your hip. It's not out wide. Okay, stand up tall through your torso, up through the crown of your head. Get long in your side waist, firm in your belly. Slow, deep breaths. So if you're feeling a lot of stretch, a lot of sensation in that left thigh, bigger, slower breaths will help to break through that tension. If you're feeling so much that you can't relax your jaw, you can't get comfortable here, then back off, move your heel away from your glute. If you don't feel enough, try to draw that heel closer, maybe even to touch. Relax your shoulders as much as you can. Notice right arm and shoulder are working. Left arm, that is, for you. Good. Slow, deep breaths. We've got one more here. Good. And release that foot back to the mat. Find your way down to sit. Find your way down to sit. We're going to come onto our backs. And so have at least one block, a blank strap. And if you need more comfort, your blanket underneath you, okay? Your books are a great substitute for the block here if you don't have a block. Set yourself up so you have room to recline and hang on to your shins. Sit up really tall. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, round yourself all the way down onto the mat. Lift your feet, hug your knees in, rock yourself a little bit side to side. Good. And then release the soles of your feet down to the mat. So we're going to do one more gentle opener for the hips. I call this metronome leg. And you're going to want your strap or your tie here. You don't need a loop in it. You're just going to lift your right foot and take your strap around the ball of your right foot so you can hang on to the strap with your hands. Stretch your right leg gently straight. Just a gentle straight leg. So if you need a bend in that leg, go ahead. We're going to hang on to both ends of the strap with our right hand. If your right leg is straight and up over your hip or closer to your head, then yes, go ahead and straighten your left leg. Otherwise, keep that left knee bent. Now spread your right toes. Hanging on with your right hand, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to tilt your right leg out to the right. You're trying not to roll all the way off of your left hip. Try to keep your left hip grounded, press down into your left thigh or your left foot if your left knee is bent. We're looking for an opening in the inner right thigh and the back of that right leg on the inner edge, the medial hamstring. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, bring your leg back up through center. Now switch hands on the strap. Take a big inhalation, and as you exhale, we're going to bring our right leg across to the left, only 4, 5, or 6 inches. We're not rolling all the way into a twist, keeping both of our hips down. That right hip stays attached to the ground. You should start to feel a stretch in your outer right leg or outer hamstring. Okay, stop when you feel it. Take a big inhalation. And as you exhale, come back through center. So now we're going to move this leg like the arm of a metronome. Okay, so as you inhale, we're going to tip the leg to the right. Only a comfortable distance. And as you exhale, bring the leg through center and tip it to the left. I like to change hands on the strap as I go. So inhale, my right hand takes hold of the edges of the strap, leg to the right. As I exhale and come up through center, left hand takes hold as the leg comes over to the left. So side to side. If this is a little too fast for you, slow it down. You don't have to move quite this quickly. I have a nice slow in-breath and out-breath from all my years practicing yoga. If you keep practicing, your breath will get really big and slow too. But for now, move at what feels like a comfortable, meditative pace, side to side. Okay, 3 more rounds like this. So we're moving our femur around in the hip socket, really good for stimulating synovial fluid, the fluid that lubricates our joint. Getting into that hamstring and that tricky sciatic nerve here as well. 1 more round. It's really great therapy for the low back if you tend to be stiff in the low back. Good. Bring your leg through center, bend your knee. Set your strap to the side. Go ahead and straighten that right leg for a moment. And just feel the difference in your 2 legs. And bend both knees to start the second side. Both knees bend. Lift your left foot. Leave your strap around the ball of the foot. Stretch your left leg gently straight. And just take a moment to get settled and comfortable. You have a bend in your knee for sure. Your leg doesn't necessarily have to come this close to you. It might be further away. If your leg is straight, stacked over your hip or closer to your chest, then you have the option to straighten that right leg. Hang on to both ends of the strap with your left hand. Take a big breath in as you exhale. You're going to start to tilt that leg to the left. So we're going really slow on this first one. Keep your right hip grounded, right foot grounded if your knee's bent, right thigh grounded if your leg is long. Okay, so we're trying not to roll all the way to the left hip. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, come up through center. Change hands on the strap and take your leg across the midline just a little bit until you feel, you'll know, your body will say, oh my goodness, there's my outer hamstring or my IT band, the iliotibial band that runs along the outer hip. You might feel this in the muscles of your outer hip. So we're not rolling all the way off that left hip. Trying to keep both hips grounded. So now as a flow, come to center. Take hold of the strap with your left hand. Inhale, the leg tips to the left. And exhale, or at your own pace with your breath, take hold with the right hand, the leg tips to the right. Good, nice and slow. Inhale. So we're trying to move the femur in the hip socket, not move the hips with it. Well, they might rock a little bit, okay, so you don't have to be extremely meticulous about it, but try to keep your hips grounded and let the movement come from your leg. Sliding, gliding back and forth. Slow, deep breaths. This should not feel aggressive or forceful. It should feel gentle. So ask yourself, if you're starting to feel uncomfortable, ask yourself, what could I do here to feel more comfortable? What could I do to make this action feel better in my body? And usually that will mean bending your knee or moving your foot away from your face and not trying to take your legs so far to the left or to the right. Last 2 here. And when you finish up that second round, bring your leg through center. Bend your knee, release the strap. Set that left foot down. Both legs come long for a moment. Stretch your arms overhead. Just scooch to make room. You might have to too. Take a big breath and point your toes. Reach through your fingers. Get a little arch in your back. And exhale, relax. Do it again. Inhale, reach. A little arch in your back. Exhale, relax. One more time. This time we're going to sigh the breath out through the mouth. Inhale, reach. Point your toes. A little arch in your back. Open your mouth. Sigh the breath out. Float your arms down to your sides. Good. Now bend your knees and grab your yoga block or your thick books. Heels are coming close to your glutes. Lift your hips up. You're going to slide your block underneath the back of your pelvis. Okay, try the low height first. So a book that's no more than 2-3 inches thick. Rest your pelvis on this block. You want your sacrum to rest on the block. Your sacrum is a wide triangular bone at the back of your pelvis, in between your tailbone, which is below it, and your spine, which is above it. So you want to feel like the wide back part of your pelvis is resting comfortably. You're not pinching your spine with that block or book. Now if you rest comfortably here and you think, I could go a little bit higher, okay, this is a nice opening for the thighs and the belly. You could slide another book underneath or take your yoga block to the higher height, okay? The medium height. Only if you're really, really bendy should you go with your yoga block all the way to the tallest height. Okay? Only if you're really bendy. Okay? For most of us, the low height or the medium height is enough. Now, arms rest comfortably. Turn your palms up. You can slide your hands wider apart if that feels good in your shoulders, or take your arms to cactus. So find a comfortable position for your arms. And check in with your legs. We're going to stay here. We're going to make this a restorative pose, which means we're going to stay and breathe in it and try not to work a muscle. Okay, so if you're working the muscles of your legs to keep your legs upright, then take your heel toe your feet a little wider and let your knees drop in toward each other. So get comfortable, get situated, and then close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Bring your attention especially to the rise and fall of your breath in your low belly. You feel the lift of your low belly assisted by the support of the books or the block beneath your pelvis. And then notice how easy it is to exhale. So your body's in a gentle inversion. Your hips are above your heart. And so the natural force of gravity, which usually affects your body in a particular way, being here up on the block makes it really easy to exhale. Usually you're exhaling against gravity when you're upright, when your body is upright. Your breathing diaphragm has to move up, right? As you're standing. That means up towards your heart, away from the ground. But here in this position, your breathing diaphragm moves toward your heart, which means downward motion since our hips are elevated. So notice that feeling. It's a really amazing, restful sensation. Let yourself sink into it. 3 more breaths here. When you finish that 3rd exhalation, if your feet have gone wide, filter them back under your hips. Take your arms by your sides. Gently press into your feet, lift your hips up. Use a hand, slide your block out, and slowly roll down along your spine. When you meet the mat, lift your feet, hug your knees in, rock a little side to side, or bring your hands to your kneecaps and roll little circles into your pelvis. So your knees moving in the same direction, like little synchronized swimmers. Change the direction of your circles. Gives you a little massage right into that sacrum, the back of your pelvis. Good. And then hug your knees into center. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, release your feet to the mat and stretch yourself out now for Shavasana. So long legs and long arms unless something about that position is bothersome to your body. So if your back gets to feeling tight and stiff when your legs stretch long, you can keep your knees bent for relaxation or slide a blanket roll underneath the backs of your knees. Okay. Traditionally, arms like rag dolls. Palms turn up, arms out away from our torso at about 45 degrees. But again, if that's uncomfortable, hands to your belly. I'm going to cover up with a blanket because, again, it's chilly and snowing outside. So your body needs to be comfortable and warm in order to fully relax. So get yourself set up and then close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Feel the way your breath moves in and out through your nostrils. Feel the coolness of the breath as it comes in through your nostrils. Notice how your breath is warm as it moves back out. through your nostrils. And then start to follow that breath in. Watch the path of your breath as it comes in through your nostrils, touches the back of your throat, starts to expand your lungs, expanding your chest and ribs and belly as a result. And then watch your breath move back out. Feel your belly and your chest soften as your lungs empty. Feel that breath move all the way back, out and up, out through your nostrils again. For your next few breaths, just watch that action. Follow your breath in and out. With your mind's eye, begin to look for the feeling of your breath, rising and falling, in and around, underneath your collarbones, your sternum. Notice how your breath rises and falls in your inner shoulders, the front of your shoulders. And notice how your breath rises and falls in and around your shoulder blades. As you watch that softening sensation around your chest and your shoulders, each time you exhale, notice how each exhalation becomes an opportunity for your body to relax. Let your chest relax as you exhale. Let your shoulder blades relax as you exhale. See if you can feel the sensation of your exhalation moving all the way down your arms into your hands and fingers. Let your arms relax completely. Let your hands relax. The joints of your fingers relax. Begin to feel your breath along your spine, rising and falling in your upper back and the back of your neck, in your mid back, in your lower back. And again, each exhalation becomes an opportunity to relax. So follow that sense of softening all the way down your spine. And let the muscles that run alongside your spine relax completely. Watch your exhalations move all the way down into the back of your pelvis. And let the back of your pelvis relax completely. Find your breath now moving deep in your belly and in the front of your pelvis. Feel the rise and fall of your breath under your hip creases, all the way down into the basin of your pelvis. And each time you exhale, as your abdominal muscles relax, the muscles that support your pelvis relax and soften. Let that sensation of softening feel as though it's moving all the way down your legs into your feet and toes. Now bring your attention up into the muscles of your face and jaw. Feel your breath moving in your sinuses, in your temples, in your forehead. Each time you exhale, let your jaw relax. Let the roots of your teeth relax. Let the skin across your forehead and across your scalp relax. Each time you exhale, let your skull sink back into the support of the ground beneath you. From the tips of your fingers and toes all the way up to the crown of your head. Feel how soft and relaxed your body has become. And see if you can let your mind become as still and as soft and as relaxed as your body. And if your mind is still active, your thoughts are wandering, encourage yourself, just gently encourage yourself to bring your attention back to your breath. Now begin to deepen your inhalation, making it bigger and brighter than your exhalation. Breathe awareness all the way down your arms and legs, into your hands and feet, fingers and toes. And wiggle your fingers and toes to wake them up. Now gently begin to stretch your arms overhead. Lengthen your legs down, point your toes, reach up through your fingers. Take a deep breath in through your nose. We're going to sigh this one out through the mouth. Open your mouth, let it go. Float your arms down to your sides. Bend your knees one at a time. Get your feet flat, and then roll yourself all the way over to one side. You can rest with your arm under your head, or a block or a blanket if you need it. Take 3 more deep breaths in and out. Still focusing your attention on that big and bright inhalation. When you finish your 3rd round of breath, get one hand to the floor, push down, get the other hand to the floor, walk yourself up sideways with the strength of your arms. Find your way to a comfortable seat. Stretch your arms open, inhale. Take your hands to your heart. Exhale. Namaste. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy your yoga practice at home. Namaste.